Hello YouTubers and chess fans. In this video I will explain you one important chess middle game idea. That is the idea about restriction of the pieces, and in this case a bishop. It can be a serious weapon in the middle game because restriction of opponent piece allows you to play with extra piece even when that piece is on the board and the material is equal. Moreover, by using this idea, by keeping bishop caught in the prison, you can fight simultaneously against bishop pair. And this is the game between Yates and Raul Capablanca, which is played in 1925. And Yates opened the game with e4 and Capablanca played knight f6. That's Ayahan defense, and this defense belongs to hypermodernism chess defense, which breaks views that the center must be occupied by the pawns. And black attempts to, by moving this knight, move these white pawns forward to create broad pawns center, with later plan to undermine these pawns with striking with the pieces and pawns. e5, disturb the knight, knight d5, and for example good continuation is d4 or c4, but in this case Yates played knight c3, and this move is not good in this position because after knight takes c3, this takes c3, the pawns are weakened and doubled. d5, and white cannot take en passant because he wants to keep this e4 this pawn on the 5th rank, which can be valuable later in middle game, and this exchange favors black. So knight f3, c5, bishop f4. This doesn't look good, but it seems that white planned to keep open possibilities for kingside, queenside or kingside castling. Knight c6, queen d2, connecting these two pieces on the same diagonals. Better move was c4, and black cannot take because of bishop development. And after, for example, d4, these two bishops are at the adjacent diagonals, which is good for white. But white played queen d2, bishop g4, developing bishop, and tries to double these 2 pawns. White castle, attacking 2 times this d5 pawn, and allows this double pawns on f file. But Capablanca played e6 firstly to protect this d5 pawn. Why Kappa didn't capture the knight? Because after bishop takes f3, g takes f3, and e6, there are 3 positional improvement in white position. This bishop on f1 can move to h3, and together with bishop on f4 they are on adjacent diagonals, and that's a little improvement in white position. And of course he will have this half open g file. So Capablanca played, of course, e6, and only after this h3, when white has changed his pawn structure, Kappa captured the knight, and after g takes f3, now situation is a little different. So queen is going to c7, two times attacking this e5 pawn. Bishop is going to g3, and we should evaluate this position. f2 and f3 are weakened pawns in white position. Capablanca understood that they cannot act easily on a king side, and that he can stop them with g7, g6. So he's thinking about his plan, about blocking this f1 bishop. When bishop is blocked, he's out of game, so the best strategic idea here is to play with extra piece on other side of the board, in this case this side, with your extra piece, and in this case that's C6 knight. So let's see now how Capablanca conducts this plan. Of course, best move in this position is C4, because he's stopping any progress of this C3 pawn and hinder this bishop development. F4, G6. The idea is to keep this bishop inactive by moving knight on F5, or if White, for example, plays B3, to play B5. King is going to B1, H5, bishop H4, bishop E7, and Black has dark square weaknesses in his position, but Capablanca wants to exchange his dark square bishop, and the question is why he wants to do that. There are three reasons. Firstly, white pieces are still out of kingside attack, especially this 3-1. Secondly, with every exchange of a piece, inactivity of F1 bishop will be even more expressed. And thirdly, black square bishop won't be able to protect dark squares in white camp in future operation of this C6 knight. When this exchange, then white will have black squares weakness in his own camp, with which this knight can exploit easily. So after bishop to G5 and trying to just made some pawn corrections, structure corrections, bishop takes, and Capablanca allows those corrections. F takes G5, and now this E5 pawn is sacrificed in order to try to open diagonals for the bishop. So knight takes E5, queen is going to E3, stopping any possible queenside castling, for example. Black cannot do that. So Cap is going on kingside, bishop E2, knight C6, F4, knight E7, rook G1, knight F5, attacking the queen, and kingside is closed and bishop is caught. So queen F2, rook E8, rook E1, B5. Capablanca started queenside expansion, bishop F1, trying to find the diagonal, which is very hard right now. A5, black is the side which is attacking right now, and white should find some defensive moves, so he chose the rook E5. The idea is to block position, sorry for this, to block position, wait for the exchange of white square bishop for a knight. So black in this case should only continue to move knight in white camp by using dark squares, and he can't allow exchanging of the knight for this bad bishop. B4, queen E1, rook B8, queen A1, rook B6, trying to double the rooks, queen D2. There are no active moves right now. White simple waiting, black will choose for the attacking. Rook A B8, rook B1. Now for white is good to exchange one pair of rooks. Knight D6, bishop G2, stopping progress for the knight on E4. So knight is going to 5, c takes b4, and now very strong move, and that's c3, attacking simultaneously queen and this pawn. So if queen, for example, move from this diagonal, there's a check, there is a check with strong continuation for the black. So b takes c3, and now again very nice move, knight c3, interfere simple between the queen and this pawn and attacking the rook in same time. So rook is going to b3 to attack 2 times now knight. So great move, 8 takes b4, protecting the knight 2 times now, a3, a6, rook is going to other file, and now you can see that this knight only plays on other side of the board while bishop is watching from the corner, and that's a big difference between black and white in this position, and this is the difference which allows black to produce final attack and to defeat white position. So after rook is going to e3, rook to a8. I will show one other line here. For example, if queen takes this free pawn and queen is going to e1, then there is a good move d4 to attack the rooks, and this pawn also is free, but black would have 2 pawns more and easy win. But this activated bishop now can produce some calculating problems which are unnecessary here, and you must admit that there is the better when you finish your strategic idea fully and simply keep this bishop inactive. So rook is going to e8, and rook exchange it for the knight, this strong knight, bishop b takes rook, and queen is now going to c1 in order to protect this pawn from 2 attacks. So after queen c5, that's third piece which attack this pawn, while only 2 pieces defend the pawn. King is going to e2, and now one simple but nice move, queen c4, the rook is extrayed, and right now this pawn can be again captured by the rook. For example, if bishop goes to h1, then simple rook check the king, and our queen takes, and this move black is better. So after this move, king is going to e1, and queen takes b3, and white resigned. Why white resigned here? Because of this continuation. If c takes b3, rook a3 check, king b1, only one square, he cannot go to b2, rook e1, king c2, rook a2 check, king takes c3, and after this check and king, for example, to d4, the bishop is also down. So because of this continuation, white resigned in this move, and he was right. There is nothing smart to do in this position. That's a very nice win from Raul Capablanca against Yates, and he conducted one very nice idea which you should remember, and please be free to leave comments below to put any suggestions or observation about this video, and I hope you have enjoyed watching this game. Take care and bye.